So you already installed WSL and DDEV on Windows 11. Now what? In this video, we're going to use that setup to install a fresh Laravel 13 project with DDEV, run it locally, open it in the browser, test Artisan, run migrations, and make sure everything is working. No manual PHP setup on Windows, no weird XAMPP configuration, no "why is my local environment cursed" moment. We're letting DDEV handle the environment, and we're just going to focus on building the Laravel project. How to install Laravel 13 with DDEV on Windows 11. Laravel 13 plus DDEV plus WSL. Clean local dev setup. This video is a follow-up to the previous tutorial where we installed WSL and DDEV on Windows 11. So before we start, you should already have WSL installed, DDEV installed, Docker working, and your Linux terminal ready to go. For this video, I'll be using the WSL terminal, not PowerShell, because this is the setup we want for DDEV on Windows. Open your WSL terminal. Once you're inside Linux, let's go to the home directory and create a projects folder. cd ~map kd ir-p projects. cd projects. Now let's create a folder for the Laravel project. mkdir Laravel 13 DDEV. cd Laravel 13 DDEV. One important tip. Keep your projects inside the Linux file system, like your home folder. Avoid putting the project inside the Windows C drive path, because that can cause slower performance and permission headings. Before creating the project, let's quickly make sure DDEV and Docker are working. DDEV version. Docker PS. If both commands work, you're good. If Docker gives an error, go back to the previous video and make sure Docker and DDEV are properly installed inside WSL. Now we'll tell DDEV that this folder is going to be a Laravel project. Run DDEV config, project type equals Laravel, docroot equals public. The project type is Laravel, and the document root is public. That's important because Laravel should be served from the public folder, not from the root of the entire project. Now start DDEV, DDEV start. The first start may take a little bit because DDEV needs to create and start the containers. Once it finishes, DDEV will show project information, including the local URL. Now we're going to install Laravel using Composer inside DDEV. To install Laravel 13, run DDEV Composer create project Laravel 13.0. This tells Composer to create a Laravel project using the Laravel 13 branch. And because we're running it through DDEV, Composer runs inside the DDEV environment instead of depending on Composer installed directly on Windows. Once the install finishes, let's verify that Laravel is installed correctly. Run DDEV Artisan version. You should see Laravel Framework 13.x. That means Laravel is installed and Artisan is working inside the DDEV container. Now, let's quickly check the environment file. cat.env grep db _. DDEV should automatically configure the database settings for local development. In most DDEV Laravel projects, the database host is usually DB, and the database username and password are usually set for the DDEV database container. Now let's run the migrations. DDEV Artisan migrate. If it asks for confirmation, type yes. If the migrations run successfully, Laravel is talking to the database properly. That means the project, PHP, Composer, Laravel, and the database container are all connected. Now let's open the site, DDEV launch. This should open your Laravel 13 project in the browser using the DDEV local URL. And there it is, a fresh Laravel 13 app running locally with DDEV. If you're using VS Code with the WSL extension, you can open the project like this. Code. This opens the project directly from WSL, which is what we want. From here, you can edit routes, controllers, migrations, blade files, and everything else like a normal Laravel project. Let's make one tiny change to prove everything is working. Open routes web.php. Find the default route and change it to something simple like Save the file, then refresh the browser. And now we can see our updated root in the browser. That confirms Laravel is running. The local URL works, and our project files are connected correctly. If you want to install and build the front-end assets, run DDEV npm install, DDEV npm run build. This installs the node packages and builds the front-end assets. For a basic Laravel install, this is enough to confirm that the front-end tooling works. Hot reload with Vite can also be configured in DDEV, but I'd save that for a separate video because it deserves its own clean walkthrough. And that's it. We now have Laravel 13 installed and running locally with DDEV on Windows 11 through WSL. This setup is clean, repeatable, and way easier to manage than manually installing PHP, database servers, and random dependencies directly on Windows. If your DDEV or Docker commands are not working yet, I recommend watching my previous video first, How to Install WSL and DDEV in Windows 11. That video walks through the base setup, and this video builds directly on top of it. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe for more gaming and tech content, and drop a comment if you want to follow up on Laravel 13 with DDEV, Vite hot reload, authentication starter kits, or deploying a Laravel project later. I'm RaeveN, and I'll see you in the next one.